The dream team all back together. Podcasters assemble!
Hey! Where?
Hello everyone and welcome to the Bearded Geeks, the weekly grab bag of topics covering movies, comics, video games and TV. My name is Jags, I'm the Beardmaster, and today, it's our 50th episode, our 50th milestone episode. We've been doing the podcast for 1 year. With me today, my co-host, the original, the one, the Bobby Baxter, and it's Patrick Brown.
Hey. Hello. It's good to be back.
Hi, Patty.
2 in a row for
Hello.
Patty Brown.
2 in a row, this is a record.
Damn. Never mind 50 episodes.
Russell's out on the couch crying, he's not on the show.
It's a rare
I'm so
occasion.
glad Patty's back though.
It's a rare occasion these days. It's been crazy busy. Steve.
Crazy busy. Life is busy, mate. Life is busy.
Yeah, lots going on.
Lots going on. How you going, Bob?
I'm alright. I'm running on about 3 hours sleep from the last week, but I'm pretty good.
12 months we've been doing the show for, boys.
Achievement unlocked.
How do you feel, Pat? 12 months of doing a podcast. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about being a podcaster?
Yeah, good.
As well as being rockstar Patrick Brown.
I don't know about that.
You have no idea how much, more interest we got in last week's show because you featured on it.
What? Did we
Seriously, there are people who listen to the show and stuff and subscribe to all our channels, but
You guys are fucking awesome.
They only ever seem to like it when there's photos of Pat or there's mentions of Pat.
Oh, those ones are no good. You know who you are.
So Pat's going to be mentioned in every single episode description from now on, even if he's not in it. Patrick Brown's on, and then at the top of every episode, he's just in the toilet. He's got the shits.
I swear he was here.
His chair's still warm. How do you feel about being a podcaster, Robert?
Yeah, not something a year ago, well, a little over a year ago that I ever would have thought I would be.
Same.
Yeah, because I hate the sound of my own voice, I just stopped listening to the shows and I'm happy again.
I love it.
Well, I came to you, we were having, I think it was New Year's Eve at your house, and I was like, I've got this idea, I want to bring you in on it, I'm going to start a podcast, I want you to be on it, and you're like,
Yeah.
But how do you guys feel now? 12 months of doing it. Do you feel like you've got a groove going? Like, Pat, you turn up once every 3 months, but
I've had a few good roles. I really enjoy coming. I look when I do come. you dirty
just
bastard.
dug that hole just a little bit deeper there.
It didn't even struck me. I was just like, all right.
Isn't it like Arnold in Pumping Iron? It's like coming.
It's coming every day.
Coming.
Every day.
It's like pumping iron. No,
How
I
you
do.
guys feel? How do you feel?
I really, I enjoy it. I'll just say that.
The most important question is, how do you feel? Because you're at the helm of this thing. This is
pressure's on
basically
you.
your baby. And,
I'm the Jack Sparrow to this, the Black Pearl.
You are, and 50 episodes is a hell of a milestone to get to. And you've turned up every week and done it. You've basically not missed. Well, maybe there was 1 week or something we took off in the middle of the year somewhere.
Yeah, at the beginning, when we went gung ho at the beginning, I burnt myself out after 2.5 months because I wanted every episode to be perfect.
Yeah,
and then I just realized I'm like, nope, that's an impossible thing to try to get perfect episode, and I just burnt myself out, and we had to have a week off. And then we just had the after Christmas break. I think we'll do that every year, obviously, but we had a break after Christmas, and we'll actually be having another break next week because we've got the freelance festival going. So
A lot of learning curves, hey, just from doing it, I guess. Just
there's a lot to pick up, and
you've learned heaps from it, haven't you?
Every week's a new learning experience. I listened to episodes we did 6 weeks ago, and I'm like, oh, why did I do that? I should have tweaked that there a bit more, but it's just lots of learnt and stuff, and
it's awesome.
It's been really good. I'm very happy with the show. I dig it, and I like doing it.
I love coming.
It's like coming.
It's like coming.
Pumping on with Patrick Brown.
And he just spat beer
beer everywhere.
All over the microphone.
I've never done that ever. Oh, sorry, mate. I have literally made a mess.
We have to buy all new equipment now.
I just choked on my beer and spat it everywhere. Sorry if my mic sounds a bit muffled.
You're underwater now.
All right. I'll contain myself. Okay.
because this is our 50th episode, we mentioned it last week, but we're actually having another giveaway.
We were, but Paddy just spat all over
all the shit we're going to give away. It's got like
Just stay into your like original sketch.
it's got like Patrick Brown's DNA all over it.
That's worth more now.
No.
So we're doing a giveaway for our 50th episode, but we're going to announce what that giveaway is at the end of this episode. So stick around if you want to enter, and you can find out how to enter at the end of this episode.
Do it.
Awesome.
All right, I've got some news, guys.
Yeah, go for it. I'm keen.
But
to hear
before that, obviously we're here to talk about Avengers Infinity War.
it. Yeah. Mm.
It was a big week. Big week.
Paddy's like...
I thought you said it was a bit weak. I was like...
It was a bit weak.
It's a bit weak.
It was a big week. I know that. I'm still feeling it.
You got a lot to say, haven't you?
Oh, mate. Let's get into it.
Bob's got a bit to say.
Yeah, I got a bit.
All right, let's go to the news then, eh?
Yeah.
All right. Now, Pat, I don't know if you know this, but at the beginning of the week, there was a trailer for Venom. Did you see the trailer for Venom?
Did I? Yeah, I saw it like on the instant. Straight away. I loved it. I even saw the releases of the cinema screening ones, and then they must have caved and just released the official trailer. So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
because there was like a 6-second clip of the end of the trailer where he turns into Venom.
Yeah. It was
And,
like almost. I saw that. It was like a little 8-second clip, and then it turned. And then the next one was like a full cinema viewing, like recording, and then next thing you know, the official one was out. So
I knew it was out because at like 8:20 in the morning or something like that, I got this text from Pat. I was at work, and it's just like, "Oh, mate," all in caps. So you know it's serious when it's all in caps.
you will shit.
They've just posted this thing for Venom. First look at Venom. Look at this. Oh, check the chat. Look at this. Oh, there's a link here. You can see the 8 seconds of clip or whatever. And then, like, an hour later or whatever, they released the full trailer. Sony caved and released the full trailer. Bobby Baxter, what did you think of the Venom trailer?
Hell of a lot more interesting than the last one that came out.
Yeah.
Way more interesting.
Lots of shots of riding motorbikes and people walking around. And
I think that 8-second clip of the face coming over, I probably watched that about 25 times.
Me
in a
too,
row,
yeah.
Trying to just like work out what's going on, piece together and everything. And then, when they eventually released the full thing, I was just like, yeah, I'd see this.
Yeah.
Definitely. It looks pretty cool. I was saying to Jags the other day, like, it's refreshing to see a Marvel property that's not, like, in that Guardian... Like, I love Guardians and Thor and Spider-Man, like, all that kind of comedic tone that they go. But it's kind of almost refreshing to see something that's, like
a thriller.
Looks a bit more serious.
Yeah.
A bit darker. And I was saying, like, it looks a bit more like a Nolan Batman film, almost.
Yeah.
Maybe,
I agree.
so... Yeah, I don't want to get my hopes up too high, but it looks pretty cool. To me.
Yeah.
Like I'm digging everything
Like
I saw there.
if you never heard of Venom or seen anything like that, you might actually think it's a good horror film or a good thriller kind of horror, and a good sci-fi kind of thing, and you'd be like, "Ooh, this looks pretty crazy." That's the kind of tone they got there. So yeah,
it's definitely a lot darker. The color palette in that, it's definitely a lot more interesting compared to most like MCU films are put out that all have the same color palette and stuff, except for like Guardians and whatever. But
it's just that really glossy MCU look, isn't it? Like this still looks pretty slick, but it does definitely have a different like color vibe kind of thing going with it. Isn't it? Like
I did notice almost every shot looks like it's filmed nighttime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the uproar though? The uproar on the internet about how the woman in the trailer pronounces symbiote.
Yeah,
It's symbiote.
Heard about that.
They pronounce it, but it's like it's symbiote. And then apparently I read an article the other day that search definitions for like symbiote definition like went up like 67% or something like that after the trailer come out. But the internet's in an uproar. They're like, how do you pronounce symbiote or symbiote?
People are so
I've just
fussy
always said
these days.
symbiote.
I've always said symbiote, but
what's it matter? Really?
like people say symbiosis, so it's like,
true.
I think it's just where you're from, is how you pronounce it.
But then you've got the word symbiont, O-N-T as well, so it's pronounced symbiont. So what about the Venom effects at the end, where the Crim, he's like, who are you? And he's grabbed him from the ground, and you can see the symbiote going over Eddie Brock, but you can see his size, like him getting taller and bigger and that. And then when the symbiote wraps over his head, you can see his form just getting taller and getting bigger.
He's like towering over him, kind of, and you can just see him rising up. Really, really cool. I loved it. I thought the way he looked was dead on to how he should. That's kind of what I expected, what I hoped for, actually, that kind of thing. I was a little worried. I thought that when we finally get a look at him, I thought, he's going to be a bit off or something. I thought they'd try and do something different, but he literally looks like he's been ripped out of a comic, so that's what I loved. I absolutely loved it. And the long tongue, I thought they would have ditched that, but they did the whole long tongue thing. That's one thing I love about Venom. You've got a few different variations where, sometimes he doesn't have a tongue flapping around at all. But
Venom's all about that size and that silhouette.
Yeah.
Because he is just a fully black character, so he kind of stands out as this big, hulking silhouette kind of thing. And I find with a lot of the other Marvel movies, like if you silhouetted them all, this is what I was talking about with Iron Man's new suit for the latest movie. Like why I wasn't really into it is because it kind of just like, if you silhouetted it, him next to Spider-Man, next to like half of the cast, Black Panther, everyone, they all start looking the same. Like, like they're all really similar kind of shaped body shapes and blah blah. But Venom, like he was massive. Like,
huge.
I mean, Hulk is kind of like a
dead giveaway.
He's a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
But there's not many in the MCU that kind of stand out as a different kind of shape.
I tried to get an idea of Venom's, like, because you only get the shot from his, like, top of his collar up. You only get, like, his head shot. And I really wanted to understand a bit more about what his size could be, so I sketched up, like, just going off how big his neck muscles were, you know, the big bits that go down and hit the shoulders.
Yep.
That gave me a bit of a guide, and I just tried to sketch up just a little bit further down, maybe under the chest, and just to get a bit of idea of his size. Yeah, and he, like, from what I can see, he's going to be huge. Like, he's going to be freaking built. And that's what I want. Like, I didn't want him to be just like, from Spider-Man 3, you know, the size of an average bodybuilder you might see walking around.
An average bodybuilder.
You know, he has to be fucking hulking.
Yeah, you really want him to take away that comic book look, so the bigger, brutish, hulking look. Yeah,
I love
Spidey 3. I think that's exactly what like everybody hated about it. Was like it just looked like Spider-Man.
It wasn't very big.
Yeah, he just looked the same kind of thing.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
But that mouth wrapping around the head and stuff, I was like, yeah, I dig that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that they refer to him, because in the comics, when Venom talks about himself or whatever, they always refer to himself as we, so Eddie and the symbiote, so we. And there's that shot in the trailer where the guys come to his apartment and like one of the tendrils comes out of his back and like knocks the guy out of the door, and Tom Hardy's just like, why would we do that?
Yeah,
you know, it's already started, it's already like implanted. Like we. I always refer to him as we.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Good hashtag too. We are Venom.
Yeah.
There's just from going off the trailer as well, you see the other people that are like in the science lab kind of thing, and they're being worked on. I think I looked up a video. Apparently, they might be other symbiotes.
There are different characters.
And what's his name? Sorry, Woody Harrelson. He might be Carnage, I reckon, because he's got that kind of look about him. He'd do a good Cassidy, I reckon. Like. No, it's not really official what his role is going to be in the movie, so I reckon he'll be...
They kept him out of the trailer.
Such a big actor, as Woody would be. You know, he's a big name. He would definitely be the Carnage, I reckon he would.
I'm really sort of keeping that emphasis on Venom. Like, this is what people want to see.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
They
need that kind of... They need definitely something strong on the other end of it, like Carnage, to make it all work, I reckon.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I'll go say it.
Definitely.
It's the one we've been waiting for since we were kids.
It's a bit disappointing there's no Spidey though, like, honestly.
No, you don't need Spidey.
Yeah, it's just that emphasis is where Venom got all his powers from Spider-Man, so the symbiote bonded with Peter, and then it took his powers from him, and that's how Eddie...
I mean, that's the whole reason Venom has those kind of eyes, even just the shape of his eyes is because of Spider-Man.
And the logo on his chest and that.
Yeah,
so
the logo.
What's to say is they're going to, like, show Venom in the movie, and maybe he won't have that logo or whatever on his chest or whatever. It'll just be, like, the white veins, but perhaps it'll be in the kind of shape, If you saw it from a distance, you'd be like, yeah, that kind of looks like a Venom-y spider.
I really
logo
hope
on
they
his chest.
do make some kind of symbol on there. I don't know. I just want it to be as classic as possible. Like, just keep it really...
It
I
could
really
just be
like
the
that.
kind of thing where they do like a Vision thing. If he's like, because they really play up the anti-hero thing in the trailer. Like, if you're going to stick around, we're only going to hurt bad guys or whatever. You know, maybe he'll just be like kind of just bland, Venom-ish, but with like the white veins and stuff. But then he's like, okay, if we're going to be a good guy and people think we're a good guy, we're going to need like look superhero-ish. So he's like, and then like a logo appears like on his chest or whatever. We need like a symbol or something like that. So maybe you see Spider-Man on the TV or something like that, and he's like, oh, that's a cool idea. And then they can just mimic his powers anyway. I don't know.
It's never too late for him to like link it all together.
Settle down, you. Settle down. Come on. Come on.
Chuck Tom Holland in there.
You got everything you wanted in Infinity War the other day.
If they want to link that shit, do it in another movie. I think this is like looking like it's heading the right way already.
It'd be such a waste because one of the big reasons that I would hate for this not to be linked is because like, I'm really happy with his look. Venom looks spot on. And if this movie, for some reason, has maybe another sequel and then it turns into a flop and it's never seen again and it's not linked to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, then when the actual Marvel Cinematic Universe finally they're like, okay, we're going to put Venom in here now. They're not going to be able to make him look like that. They can't, because that's the thing in films. They're not allowed to really... We want to steer away from what they did, kind of thing. And I'm like, no, that's perfect. Do that again.
It's a bit too edgy for Disney. Or
so
whatever.
most likely Marvel will probably do something different, maybe looking a bit hulkier or something and do a different version of Venom. But yeah, I really just like this look and I want that to be in that place. You know what I mean? It's just, it's a bit of a missed opportunity if they don't.
Well, you'll have to find out in October, I think. October it's out.
Yep.
All right, let's move on.
Let's do it.
There was a official synopsis for the new Predator film released. Finally.
Oh, yeah?
CinemaCon was on last week, and there's been a lot of footage in that shown for like different films, like Dumbo and Aladdin, and the trailer for Halloween, which was apparently is very terrifying. Apparently, anyway,
okay.
I got a synopsis here for Predators if you want to hear it. From the outer reaches of space to the small-town streets of suburbia, the hunt comes home in Sane Black's explosive reinvention of the Predator series. Now the universe's most lethal hunters are stronger, smarter, and deadlier than ever before, having genetically upgraded themselves with DNA from other species. When a young boy accidentally triggers their return to Earth, only a ragtag crew of ex-soldiers and a disgruntled science teacher can prevent the end of the human race.
Walter White and
So you're telling me that they've upgraded the Predator to something different?
So the Predator species have genetically enhanced themselves with DNA from other species.
No. Keep them the same. They're perfect as they were.
this guy does not like change.
No, he doesn't like change at all.
Ruining it.
They're designed to be the perfect hunters as they are. They're like perfect. Don't change them. And they're going to change them and make it all different.
That's the kind of thing that got me. Like at the end of that synopsis, they're like, what was it? Can prevent the end of the human race. I'm like, Predators aren't really coming to like stop our race or end our race. They just come here to like hunt.
They just
and
play.
It's,
They want to
they
play.
just play.
Yeah.
They hunt. It's like a rite of passage thing that they do to
It's a
become
sport.
men.
It's a sport to them.
Yeah, it's a sport. Yeah. So, I don't know about that, but I loved everything Sane Black's ever done. So, I'm keen for this.
Sounds like they don't. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sounds like they don't really know what to do with the Predator. They just want to try and do something that it's not. Predators don't do that. They don't wipe out human race.
I'm not going to write it off before I see kind of anything.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't seen anything. That's just words on a page.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you are right.
I'll
I think
watch it.
that is a very big key point is the hunting side of things. Like they're not here to eradicate human race. They're just here as big game hunters, basically, to take out the ultimate prey that they know.
Yeah. Everything they did
us.
in Predators, the one from 2010, that was perfect. I actually really love that movie.
So you keep saying.
Yeah, and that's but that explains everything that they are. So they just chuck a bunch of people on a planet and let them fight each other and then hunt them all down. That was it.
I gotta be honest, I
remember
can't.
anything about that movie.
Yeah,
really?
I kind of like that movie. Yeah,
I loved it.
It's enjoyable enough, but actually, people always write it off, but I really fucking like Predator 2. You can't beat the original with Arnie and stuff, but Predator 2 is still a great film.
Yeah, it is. I'd watch it again.
We're getting a sequel to A Quiet Place.
All right.
Already? I haven't even seen the other one. The first one.
Already, yeah. I saw that, yeah.
Oh, did you watch it?
I did go and watch it, yeah.
Wow, what would you give it out of 5?
I'd give it a 4 out of 5.
You are a shit motherfucker. I was going to say the C word, but then I thought I'd have to bleep it out, so I was just like, nah, I'm going to change that.
No, it was good. Like, actually, like a good solid 4 out of...
A solid 4.
I would even go 4.5 out of 5.
I dare say that movie was better than the Avengers. Here we go.
I would even say that Brent's talking you around to upping your score.
No, I just mean if we were sticking to strict numbers, then yeah, but 4. But if I could creep it up a little
what
bit,
doesn't make it a 5 for you without being spoilery? Because it's a great movie and we don't want to spoil it for Bob.
Oh, it was just the... I couldn't fault anything out of the whole movie, to be honest.
Then why wouldn't you give it a 5?
No, what I mean is my experience. When I leave the cinema, it's always, a 5 always means when I leave the cinema, I usually feel like after Infinity War, I was like, holy shit, you know.
But when I left this one, I was like, yeah, that was good. In front of him that was like walking real slow, and he was just like, God, I really just want to.
You've ruined my film experience now.
Oh, don't get me wrong, it's right up there. I'd watch it over and over again. It was a great movie. I'm not saying it was bad at all. I actually I'm telling you, it was great.
You didn't get that.
It's just not perfect.
You didn't get that after movie buzz.
Yeah, like one that leaves me thinking, and I'm like, I'm like.
But how could you? If you said a movie was perfect and you couldn't fault it, why wouldn't you give it a perfect score?
Oh, it's just the like everything was right about the movie.
Conditions were perfect.
I'm talking about the art, like the overall feeling.
So I'm
left with, yeah, the whole like amazement feeling was like, you know, just pretend I have like a bar, like a health bar.
Oh, I can pretend a lot with you.
An energy bar or something. It's like rising up. I'm like right up there to about an 8, and then I'm like, and then it drops back down. Like Infinity War just fucking exploded that thing right out.
Blew the top off of the bar.
Yeah, so
it's just like coming.
So that's where the 4 comes from. You know, it's not right.
Bar is weird.
Didn't reach the 5.
I don't understand that. I don't understand. Like, if you
movie.
can't...
It doesn't mean that there was anything bad in the movie, yeah.
And you said it's perfect, then why wouldn't you give it a perfect score?
Oh, a lot of plot holes and stuff, I'd suppose.
Plot holes?
Get into the details.
Into the fine minutiae. Right, Bob, cover your ears.
Oh, no.
Oh, really?
Go to your quiet place. Go to your quiet place.
Save it
no, really, there's a couple of plot holes there. If you think about it.
All right, well,
they're not really spoilers.
After the show. After the show. We'll talk about it after the show. All
right.
So the movie was made on a $17 million budget. As of today, it's made just under $216 million worldwide.
$17 million?
$17 million budget.
Wow, that's nothing.
Mm.
We were talking about fucking Dark Tower, like, last year.
That's the bar to go back to, eh? That was like the $60 million movie, and that barely just made, I think worldwide it made probably just under 130 million, I think.
I suppose we were talking about that being a kind of budget movie, but 17 mil for a movie that's come out and done so bloody well. That's awesome.
Well, I suppose for a start, like the script was minimal, so as in the dialogue. It was like, you know, that just shaves off a bit of I don't know. Suppose they just go in and just do their best.
Would you go see a second one, Patrick Brown?
Oh yeah, I'm lined up for it. I'll be there. Let's go see it.
Give it a 4.5 again.
Mandate. I can't believe I'm being scolded for it.
It was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. I couldn't fault it.
I thought that was generous, to be honest.
This is like the IGN comment section on a game where they give it like 9.5 out of 10.
And then you get the negative comments.
What the fuck? This is rigged. Best game ever. Why didn't? There's no cons. Why didn't you give it 10 out of 10?
I fell into a trap. I didn't realise.
What would you rather watch, A Quiet Place or Terminator Genesis?
A Quiet Place, yeah. Here we go again.
Good.
I knew it had come back to me.
And finally, last bit of news. One for the, this is a change for us. This is about a book.
Yeah.
What are those?
George R.R. Martin has confirmed that the next Game of Thrones book, Winds of Winter, will not be released in 2018, but is releasing a different Game of Thrones book called Fire and Blood, which chronicles the Targaryen Civil War. And that's being released on November 20.
Oh,
Watch the world just fall apart with that news. What the fuck?
Do you mean like a prequel, like the early Targaryen stuff that
Yeah,
happened?
so apparently
Oh, okay.
it covers the Targaryen, like the infighting between the Targaryens and that, but it's all sort of shit that feeds into Game of Thrones.
Well, that kind of explains what they're going to probably do with the show then after that. They'll probably follow the book again, will they?
Spin off.
Now,
do
Pat,
that.
this is a serious question. When was the last time you read a book?
Oh. Probably when I was 10 years old. I don't really read books. I'm a more visual kind of guy.
He
so-
just reads the comment sections.
Yeah.
yeah.
Look at this comment I've highlighted or whatever.
Reddit is your novel.
I just read Reddit.
Yeah. I can read, but yeah. I have a preferred kind of, and my entertainment more goes into, TV.
Cat videos.
Cat videos, yeah.
People falling off skateboards and getting nutted.
I got to share this one with you later.
He actually has one stored up. That's great.
Yeah, I do. I got to show you. I was showing Alira before.
All right, fuck it. We might go into Avengers Infinity War.
Yeah, before Pat explodes. The excitement.
It's like coming.
I've just started on the sake, so...
His bar's exploded.
He's on the rice wine.
He's
The
on the
rice
rice wine.
This could be dangerous.
Yeah.
Him talking about his favourite movie, possibly of all time, and on fucking sake.
It's going to get messy.
All right, are we going to endeavour to do no spoilers first?
We'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
We'll give it a go.
All
But
right.
when we get to the spoiler section, because there's a lot more spoilers to talk about than non-spoilers, we'll announce it. So, because if you haven't seen it, definitely don't listen to the spoiler section. So, there'll be timestamp below in the description so you can skip over it. And go and hear about our giveaway. Give it away now. We're going to go back to that. We'll do another video announcement of who wins.
Get our Chili Peppers outfits on. That would be Flea. Actually, Paddy
Get our tops off.
Paddy'd make a good Flea, I think.
I'll chuck the wig on. That's my only option.
All right, so Infinity War. Let's see. What's this? The 19th MCU film in 10 years.
Oh,
Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
nice. I
So
thought
about
they-
18 films before this. They say this is the
good.
culmination of 10 years of movies, but I think it's really about 6 years. When they finally decided, they're like, hey, let's get Thanos in there and we'll do the Infinity Stone stuff.
The anus. I couldn't help, the whole movie just, picture, every time they said, Thanos, I was just like, the anus.
So let's set up the story a bit. If you've watched every single other Marvel movie, you'll be up to date. But it's pretty much Thanos is coming. He's coming to get all the stones, and he's gonna fuck shit up. And everyone's gonna try and stop him before that shit gets fucked up.
I really liked...
There wasn't a whole lot of talk. I don't know if maybe it's something that I've missed in the 19 odd movies that have come out.
18.
But why? Well, yeah, the 18 previous movies. Why he's doing it? There's not a whole lot of talk about what his actual motivation is outside of balance.
Yeah.
Why does he want balance? What is fucking driving this guy to do this? We just know he's a big bad guy.
Yeah.
Mainly it goes back to his planet.
Right. Okay.
Because is this spoilers to bring that up about his planet? About what happened? I don't think
Not
so.
if it's in the film. No, it's not in the film, so it's just what we're
It is
reading.
in the film. He does talk about it.
Oh,
but-
is it?
Anyway, okay, this is kind of not really spoilers, but his planet's dying, it's overpopulated, and he comes up with a radical idea to save his planet, but all the bigwigs and bosses and that, they're like, nah, you're mad, mate. That's a shit bloody idea. And he's just like, well, fuck us then. Watch what happens. And then
Full
he's...
Australian on this.
Yeah. And then
I can do it. Fuck is.
his race dies out and his planet just turns to dust, and it's pretty much his race is wiped out. And then from that point on, he just decides he's like, what the universe needs is balance, because he says it in all the trailers and stuff. Balance. The universe's resources are finite, and the universe is expanding exponentially. And the only way to let the universe survive is to keep it in check. The only way for him to do that is to collect all the Infinity Stones. That's the only way he knows how to do it.
Right.
I really
So
liked-
this movie's pretty much is Thanos is jumping across the universe, collecting all the stones, because he's tried to have other guys and that collected in the previous movies to no avail, but he's finally like, he's like, I'll do it myself.
You need a bloody job done right. You
I
gotta
like-
do it yourself.
Josh
Bloody.
Brolin.
The way they did that was really good, I thought, because even for anyone who hasn't seen all the other movies, I thought this is a set up really well for someone who hasn't seen it. So, like, I saw it as in, he's kind of like a Terminator. He's just coming in, and it's a real simple story. He just has to collect 6 different stones. So it's easy to keep track of, he's going here next, he's going here, and he knows where he's going.
My question is, he's so fucking capable at doing it.
Yeah.
Why the freaking hell did he spend 20 movies nearly sending all these other guys out to do it when he got the job done in like fucking half an hour?
Letting about 15 characters get developed and built and strong enough to defeat him.
Yeah, he could have just skipped all that and just gone before they all turned into fucking superheroes.
Yeah.
And done it like ages ago.
I like how he's quite unstoppable. Like, but then again, I like how he's not as well. Like, he's actually not that. You can get to him, you can hurt him, and I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah, he's not invincible.
Yeah, because I thought originally that he's like some kind of god who can't even bleed and that, but
he can be hurt.
He can be hurt,
stopped,
and and quite easily as well, which was good. Like, I thought he's that skilled that he deflects a lot of it, or he's just strong enough to stop it. So I thought that was brilliant because it shows weakness on his half too, and that was good.
Yeah. Let's just talk about Thanos a bit, because without going into spoilers, but this is really Thanos' movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I thought he was really I thought Josh Brolin did a really good fucking job. Like, he's really well developed. Like, he wasn't just like super evil maniacal villain. Like, he had purpose. Like, for all his faults and like his villain and that, like, I was sitting there and I'm just like, he's actually got a pretty good point. But his methods are just madness.
I actually quite liked him as a character by the end.
Yeah, I loved him. Yeah,
Even
I thought
though
he was fantastic.
A big villain, like it's kind of like like a Heath Ledger Joker situation where you just fucking love that villain. You really love him, and I really liked that about him.
Like, he's got a great point. It's just that his methods are very circumspect.
Bold.
Bold. Bold. He's very bloody bold. I'm just gonna do it. I loved it. I really enjoyed Thanos, and he just like was an evil villain. There was like, he showed like a lot of different sides to the character in that, and he had like some interactions with Gamora and stuff. Because go back to Guardians of the Galaxy, even says like his favorite daughter is Gamora and stuff, and whatever. And they really kind of play on that relationship a bit, and they have some flashbacks. You see it in the trailer and stuff where he goes to Gamora's planet and he first takes it, she takes him by the finger and he walks her away and stuff. So, like, there's a real kind of, for as fucked up as it is, there's a real father-daughter relationship there.
Yeah. Yeah, it gave a bit more meaning to his side of things, which was good.
What I'm most impressed with the movie is, like, I was expecting to go in and just get blasted with all this stuff or like everyone only gets like a line each kind of thing and then the movie's over. Yeah. And it kind of like it does do that, but they do it in a way that is actually
well balanced.
Like, well balanced enough that everybody gets a good chunk of like little stuff to do.
Yeah. I thought
all the way through, and like to like bring together a cast of that freaking huge size.
About 40 characters, 40 main characters we've seen in previous films.
Yeah. And have everybody actually play a part that's kind of pretty much crucial to the thing. And then you still walk away from the movie going, oh, there was like 5 or 6, where's Ant-Man? Where's bloody blah, blah.
Let's go back to the start of the movie, because the movie starts and it pretty much opens up from the get-go. Like, we don't have to wait to see Thanos. We see him pretty much in the first 5 minutes. Remember,
that was good.
Non-spoilers. But then we get down to Earth and fucking shit gets real quick.
Yeah, straight off the bat. And I really liked that. I thought that they were gonna build up to Thanos. I thought maybe we're not gonna see him for a while.
The anus.
Thanos. But it was really good to, I thought, have him, straight off the bat, and it's just, and that was probably such a good scene too.
They set the stakes with that first scene. With him. Like, basically they set it up where you've got the big bad, you throw him in a room with a couple of your favorite heroes,
build the tension.
He decimates the fucking shit out of them.
Yeah.
And he's only got one stone at that time.
Yeah, he's only got one stone.
A
at
real
that time,
threat.
yeah.
You see a real threat there.
And so you're like, he just fucked up like basically 3 or 4 heroes.
Yeah.
In that one scene right at the start.
Yeah.
And so that set the stakes of like,
Yeah.
okay, shit.
Like, this guy means business.
And you know, in the movie, like, there's gonna come a time where he's got like 5 or 6 of these stones.
Yeah.
Like, he's not gonna have.
Because no one's really known how strong he is, like visually. You only see him sitting on a throne, or you see him from a side angle or something, but no one's really seen him in action.
Seen him in action, yeah.
That was a great idea to set him up to see how is he? What can he do? Yeah, how capable is he? Like in hand-on-hand combat kind of thing, or just anything like that, you know.
And we didn't really have to wait for like the heroes and that to get together, because like when we get to Earth, like in the first bloody 10 or 15 minutes, like we get Doctor Strange, we get Wong, we get Spider-Man, we get Iron Man, you know, we get a bunch of heroes like already team up and stuff, and it's pretty great fucking action scenes in that there. And it all in the beginning with the Black Order, the Children of Thanos.
Children of the anus.
Every chance you get, you're gonna take it, aren't you?
Every single one.
We didn't see Korg in there though. Yeah.
I know. I said to Patty as we're walking up the stairs going into the thing, I'm like, he's the only character I care about. Like, if I see tonight, I want to see some Korg action
from Ragnarok. Yeah,
I got nothing. But you know,
I just love his accent. I just wanted to see him in there again.
I'm glad I didn't have to see a potential demise of Korg either. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What do you think of the visual effects, Pat? Did you see? I've heard some people talk about, the visual effects were great, but there was like one bit where it looked real shit house or whatever. But what did you think of like, especially the Thanos stuff? Because obviously it's all.
Well, I was actually really surprised.
Motion capture, performance capture, like Josh Brolin and shit.
Yeah.
All the dots and shit and that on his face. Like, did you really feel like he really like conveyed that emotion and shit and that in his face? Was that like a struggle or anything to follow? Or?
No, from the trailers. I remember when the trailers came out, and it seems like they've changed his face quite a lot from what we were originally showing.
Yeah, they've tweaked it a bit,
movies.
haven't they? Yeah.
And it didn't go down too well with a lot of people. And I remember when I watched the first trailers, I kind of agreed. I thought, it looked a bit too human or something. Now he didn't look as monstery like, but when I watched this movie, as like as soon as I saw him and I don't know, the way he just all these facial expressions, the way just straight off the bat it was perfect.
It was a pretty believable.
It actually looked like he was there. Yeah, exactly. It was like
it wasn't too hokey.
No,
it felt like he was tangible enough in the scene. Like he was, you kind of forget that he's CG. It
felt like he existed. It really did.
Yeah.
That's one of the first.
It was kind of like a Planet of the Apes thing, like the last Planet of the Apes movie, where you forget they're apes and they're just characters.
It's that good now that it was believable, and it wasn't just like watching a cartoon or something. It was like, it actually felt like
some of the stuff was a little bit hokey, like the shot in the trailer and at the beginning of the movie where he takes his helmet off and then he sort of arms down to the side. That just looks a little bit twitchy to me, like the arm movement and stuff. I can sort of tell it a little bit there, or whatever.
I think you're on point. Like, I think they spend all their money in the facial area because that's where everyone's eyes go to. But I noticed a couple of times in a few scenes where like you look at his feet and the way that he's interacting with the ground and stuff, and it kind of just feels like weird because he's just like weird proportion. So you like look at his feet and he's got these big chunky legs. And they just kind of feel like it feels like a video game character, kind of.
There was...
but that's the part of the screen no one's looking at.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a fucking idiot animator that's like, looking at that shit.
You're the only one.
How those feet interact with that grass?
Yeah. Oh, he actually kicked that thing. Oh, that's impressive. I do though. I watch like apes and stuff, like, and it's all that little shit where like. Everybody's looking at their faces, and I'll be staring at the ground to see if they're actually like stirring up the mud in the ground and shit. And in apes, they fucking did, and I was like, "Oh man,
that's bloody good.
How does that branch interact when they push past it?"
Yeah. I look at all that shit, and apes was impeccable for that. They were fucking on point with that. This one. Not quite as much, but they spent all their money on the bit that fucking counts, and that's the face. And he did a really believable fucking.
Yeah, I actually agreed with them after I saw this movie. I thought that good idea for doing the whole changing the face a bit to make it more expressive. But And one thing I did notice as well that kind of freaked me out was when he put his hand up to his face or something like that, and you actually see his fingers. His fingers are really long, like they're like ape fingers. They were massive. Like I expect them to be really thick and solid, but they were like really long fingers. I just thought that was funny when I saw that.
I want to bring to light too, without making any spoilers, but like Star-Lord bringing forth the issue of Thanos' chin.
Yeah,
it was like one of my favorite parts of the whole movie. Like that was such a good little line in there. It was so good.
Okay. Awesome. The Thanos CG was great, but let me go over to the Black Order. So the Children of Thanos. So you had Ebony Maw, Corvus Glaive, Proxima Midnight, and what's his name? Cole. I don't know what his last name is. Cole something. The big dude, the big Hulk looking dude.
Oh yeah.
I thought the CG, because they do that thing, Marvel does that thing now where, like Black Panther and Spider-Man, they'll have the actors wear the actual suits and they look real hokey, and then they'll CG over the top, so they got all that crisp, bloody CG, awesome lookingness and that to it. Yep. Obviously, that's what they did with this cast. Less so with Ebony Maw, the kind of bald guy. You see him in the trailer. He's torturing Doctor Strange with all the spikes and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But the others, like Corvus, and I think worst of all, Proxima Midnight, because her face, whatever her alien race and that is, she kind of has like this misshapen kind of head. The female one.
Is that with the horns? She's got horns and they come down to her eyes?
Yeah, kind of like that, but it's just really, I don't know, I just feel like it's that kind of thing where less would have been more. Like, you could have had the actor with, like, prosthetics and stuff and just slightly tweaked to that CG just to make it look more, like, filled in and more like a part of her face, like the horns and stuff. But they've just done, like, a whole CG overlay of her face, and there's this one scene where it's, like, just a close-up of her face, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, that was kind of at the end sort of sequence where they were she had like a real close-in tight shot, and it kind of felt like that Senua Hellblade game, like it kind of like a little bit Uncanny Valley area kind of thing.
I did like her. I really liked her design and the way, like I did like how she was 3D like that, but then again I was like, yeah, that's going to date. Like, you give it 10 years, people will look at that and go, oh, like, you can tell that it's
close to humanoid face features. I think that's where you, like,
exactly, yeah.
If it was a big rock monster or even the Hulk, like the Hulk is far enough removed from kind of humanity that he can get away with having close-up shots of him. Cause
it was a bit video game-like, really, wasn't it? The 3D of her was, and even actually, no, I did find the magical dude. He was an alien one. What is he? The lanky kind of creepy-looking one. He was quite well done. It almost looked like he was prosthetic, but he wasn't. Like, it looked like he existed. He was there.
With just some CG.
But hers was the one that was a little... I know.
It was a bit much.
A bit catchy. You could tell.
It was a bit too on the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be really interesting to see how this translates to the small screen. Because I found that with Homecoming, watching that again at home for the first time... CG didn't hold up as well as it did in the cinema. I thought the cinema was impeccable. It was great. I didn't see anything wrong with it. And then when I got it home, I was like, whoa, you can see all the little...
On closer inspection.
Yeah.
It was funny because we were sitting in the cinema and the movie started and you were sitting next to me and it sort of started and it was playing like the first 10 or 20 seconds or whatever, a scene with some characters and stuff. And you kind of nudged me and you went, oh, this looks shit. It's like, I'd rather watch this on my TV at home.
Oh, is that with like you can see the blacks,
the black level, yeah. I was like, oh, the black level's a bit shit out here. You see the whole fucking frame here. What's going on? I've gotten used to my nice new television now. It's like full black,
pitch black.
Oh, it's beautiful.
You wouldn't even see the frame. You would at night. You just
when there's the scene, the dark scene, you just see fucking whatever's lit.
That's awesome.
Oh man. Yeah, I love it.
I want it.
I never want to leave home.
I need it.
I just need to watch some TV every day.
All right, let's talk about some of the pacing in that more as well. This movie is pretty much, it's the ultimate like comic book event movie. It's pretty much like taking an event comic and transferring it to the big screen. So
don't go in expecting like a fucking amazing story because that's not going to happen here. It's like it's almost like a
like we've done that with the last 18 movies, so you know these characters and that well enough. Now just move them into this gigantic epic situation
Yeah.
and watch them react.
Yeah, it's almost like a culmination of all those other stories
It's all about Thanos, really.
throwing into a mix.
Just anus.
Just stop him, kind of scenario.
Like there's nothing groundbreakingly huge, twisty kind of things there that will make you go, whoa, kind of thing, or like any kind of like deep delving into a story. It's kind of pretty surface level, but it's fucking put together in a way that's like pretty genius that they kept things rolling and interesting for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
But also giving enough space for basically fucking 30 or 40 odd people to actually have a go.
In a 2.5 hour movie too.
Crazy.
Well, what I found was that through that whole movie, I thought it would be quite grim, but actually through the entire film, I came out thinking that it was almost perfect. It actually was perfect. The way they did it was the humor was spot on. It was like you were either laughing or you were either cringing, and you were like on the edge of your seat, or you were just laughing again. It was like really balanced so well that it wasn't so depressing and just because it is when you think about it, it's quite a depressing kind of storyline in the way he's trying to.
And the way they've
taking
built
it
it up
over.
too, they're like, don't get attached to anyone, like, people are going to die, like, we're not going to tell you, but don't get attached to anyone. And this movie is just as jokey as any other Marvel movie.
That's the thing. Like,
Especially
I
after
get
Ragnarok.
action scene fatigue. Like, if you spend too long in fight scenes and stuff, and nothing else is happening, and then you jump to another character and they're in a fight scene, and that's all you're getting, you kind of after a while you're just like, okay, like give me something more. But this movie goes through nice little chunks of like,
Placed it well.
Here's a dialogue thing. Here's moving the plot point further. Here's a fight scene that's crazy and fucking epic. Here's a bit more funny shit.
Yeah.
Here's a bit more, like
It's awesome.
it's like little vignettes of like little, interesting little pockets of
The way they did
whole
it was
thing.
spot on. Just like, hilarious.
You guys know me, like, I've said this before, like, when a movie comes out, I'll watch the first trailer and the second trailer and maybe the final trailer. And that's it. I don't watch TV spots because I got fucked over with that with Jurassic World.
Yep.
I felt like I watched too much. So I stay away from the TV spots because obviously when they put stuff to TV, like, on, like, talk shows and stuff, they always show, like, all the best shit. And you're stuck, like, you've already seen it, so you've missed out on those laughs in the cinema. Now, I watched this and I felt like the humor in that was in this is probably some of the funniest shit I've seen in any MCU movie.
And it wasn't spoiled, was it?
No, they didn't use.
I really felt like
you're
I loved Thor Ragnarok. Like, that movie was
Yeah.
funny as fuck. But some of the humor in this, because, like, to do with, obviously a lot of it's to do with, like, the Guardians and stuff and their interaction with Thor and, like, Rocket and Peter Quill and Drax and all that sort of getting in, like, these characters who are, like, polar opposites who, from totally different realms of the MCU or whatever, rolled into this one situation.
Yeah.
Like, what would happen? Like, some of the funniest shit I've ever seen in any Marvel movie is in this movie.
They didn't
Fuck, I
need-
laughed.
They didn't
Me too.
need to use it in any of their marketing, though. That's the thing. Like, with a Thor movie and stuff, like, you've kind of only got Thor to go on, so they have to use a few of their jokes in their trailers and stuff. In this, like, as much as I hated that trailer, when we were talking about it when it first came out, it was like, and then there's this character, and then there's this character, and then there's this character.
And look, it's Star-Lord and
But-
Iron Man.
But, like, that was just me. Like, most people who are into these Marvel movies are excited. They're like, yes, my favorite guy is going to be in there. Yes, my favorite thing. Yes. And you don't actually have to even show them talking or doing anything. They're just like,
They're going to interact.
he's there. Oh, look, he's in that scene next to that guy. He's there. And then you get to the movie and half of those scenes don't even exist when you actually go back. But, that aside, like, they didn't have to burn any of their jokes in the trailer because they just used that trailer to go, here's 40 people that
This
are
is
in
what's
this
happening,
movie.
yeah.
And then, let the movie do the movie. Like, and like,
Let it do all the
I felt
heavy
like-
lifting, yeah.
I felt like I didn't see anything from the trailer in this
Yeah,
movie.
me too.
Or some of the scenes that I do remember from the trailer, I was like, hey, he's fucking not there. He's like, he's this and that, and like, that's...
Same with the bit in the trailer where you see Thor doing the whole pulling down the thing, and I don't know, he's got his arm risen up and he's electrifying something, but that didn't happen in the movie.
Yeah, I reckon I saw that too.
I remember
was cut.
that. It
was
didn't
cut from the
happen.
movie,
It was totally different in the movie. Yeah.
That's one thing though. Like I said, I love Thor Ragnarok, and I loved how that character's evolved, and now he's a bit more he's a bit more surfer bro, cracks a few jokes, or what he kind of stonerish or whatever.
Right.
But I was a bit worried because obviously all these different movies have all been touched by different hands and different writers and different directors and all these different people in charge. Now it's sort of been handed over to this one like pair of directors and stuff. And I know other, like James Gunn had come in and I think he wrote like all the Guardians dialogue, and which is very apparent as well. But I was worried that, you know, they did such a great job with Thor Ragnarok and how Thor is now. I thought that might change or they might water it down in this, but I didn't feel like that happened.
No.
They obviously...
It's good.
Because that movie was pretty much a comedy and this is something else entirely, I still got enough of that character.
It was great,
with some serious Thor action and that
even
in there
just the
as well,
scene with him meeting the Guardians was... I was nearly in
No,
tears
it was a
watching
massive
it.
highlight.
That
Yeah,
was
for
the
sure.
best.
Yeah,
Just
sure.
a
That
highlight.
was the absolute best for me
I
chunk
cracked
of the
up.
movie that I really enjoyed.
I'll explain I just wanted to explain the joke later in the spoilers.
I love that too. Yeah,
That just made me laugh.
I think that's my favourite part of the movie too. All the Guardians' interaction with like Thor and stuff.
Yeah. But with
Excellent.
Thor as well, like I thought that it was really good to see. This movie really established how powerful he is, and it just really made him
And how essential to the fight he is as well.
Yeah, exactly. And he was just one of the strongest, you could say. Like he really
I want to see more of Hemsworth and Pratt together.
yeah, that was good.
Even
I loved it.
outside the Marvel thing, like do a buddy cop movie with those two guys.
That was great.
Fuck, it'd be hilarious. It'd be so good.
That was awesome.
They were great. They fed off each other perfectly.
Yeah,
I thought, in
they
those
did.
Scenes. Yeah.
All right, then. How about we go into spoilers?
Yes.
He's like, yes.
All right, so we're going to go in-depth, massive spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want it ruined for you, do not listen past this point. Look in the timestamp below. You'll see where you can jump to, where the end of the spoilers will be. If you want to hear about our giveaway. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. All right, let's spoil some shit.
Yes.
All right.
Where do we want to start? Okay, right at the beginning, Thanos kills Loki. Now, I thought all the build up through all like the Thor movies and Avengers and stuff, I thought Loki might get a better send off than that because I knew he was going to die. I knew eventually they were going to kill him off. It was going to be this big moment, and it was medium-ish. But I just feel like it could have been
It's just
like
enough.
a character like that we've invested in, who everyone said before Killmonger came along, before the Kingpin came along, who was the best MCU villain. Like, he was the best MCU villain for a long time. Like, he was one of the best. And I just feel like he didn't have as good a send-off as he could have.
I feel like that room had what? There was Thor, Hulk, Loki.
You had Heimdall in there as well.
Heimdall.
Yeah.
You had some of the Black Order were in there.
So, like, yeah, I felt like Loki could have been used more throughout the movie as, like, still, like, working for him and still, but, like, trying to underplay him until a stage where it got later in the movie, and then you have, like, a fucking nasty showdown where he, like...
Turns on him and tries to,
Yeah. Or,
Yeah.
like, you know, he gets what he wants, and then he's like, I'm fucking done with you. Like, you know, that kind of thing. But right at the start of the movie, I mean, like, it did set up the stakes for, like, okay, basically anyone can die.
And
that's how I thought, yeah. I
and it
thought,
played
at the
into
same time,
Thor's
I was
story for the movie as well. Sorry to
Yeah.
cut in front of you, but
Yeah.
it played into Thor's story. Like, he's like, I'm going to
Yeah.
fuck you up, Thanos. I need a god-killing weapon or whatever. And
It
that's
would
Yeah.
where...
almost be, like, more full-on if they killed the Hulk or Thor in that scene and
Yeah,
kept Loki alive. And Loki, after seeing Thor or Hulk die, then he, like, tries to get him back, but then he dies as well, sort of thing. So that would have been more powerful to me, but...
I was
you know.
quite surprised by that. I thought the same. I was just like, I was quite shocked. I was like, oh shit, and you could tell he's actually dead. And you know that because they've already done the fake death before. They can't do that again. It's like you only get one life.
And he says that, like, he's like, no resurrection and stuff,
Yeah.
no tricks.
Yeah, no tricks.
They're pretty much saying, like, he's dead for good.
Yeah, and like I thought that was also like you said, a really good setup for like that's what we're doing here. This is anyone can die at any time kind of thing, and you don't expect it because I was like shocked. I was like, okay, he's gone. That's such a big character, done and dusted.
It is almost weird that they turned Thor, like they kept Thor as a comedic character throughout the movie after having witnessed his brother die in front of him.
Oh yeah,
but it was kind of a lot of it was kind of that grim humor as well.
Yeah,
and he's there with like Rocket, and he's like Sweet Rabbit. He's like calling him Sweet Rabbit all through the movie.
Yeah, that was good.
Rabbit and stuff.
And that, like I said before, that joke, just how the way Peter Quill was with Thor, and they, what was it? He's like, oh, who's this dude? And then Drax is like, no, you're a dude. This is a man right here. And I thought that was fucking.
And they were looking at him and they were like,
hilarious.
what does he look like? And Drax is just like, it looks like a pirate and an angel had a baby.
And Gamora's like massaging his muscles.
Yeah, like touching his arms and stuff. Like his muscles look like they're made out of like some Canarian weave or something like that. And Peter's just like, stop massaging his muscles.
Yeah. And like the one bit that got me was when and they look at Peter and they're like, you have put on a bit of weight. He's just looking.
He's like, you're one sandwich away from being fat. And he's like, what? And then Peter looks at Drax, and Drax doesn't say anything, and he just nods at him.
Just like the shock in his eyes.
Like, touches his chin.
Yeah.
Like, Drax just touches his chin. And he's
I was
like,
no.
oh.
I was nearly gone. The look in his face.
And he's like, that's it. He's like, I'm going to get a Bowflex. He's like, I'm going to commit. I'm going to get some dumbbells.
Yeah. Oh, it was the best.
Great.
The Guardians humor, and yeah, that was a massive,
Excellent.
massive standout for that
Fuck, you
film.
can
Yeah.
tell Gunn just came back in
Yeah.
and did that bit.
He's like, I'm just going to come in and
Wait.
fucking own this scene.
And the way Quill like deepens his voice, he's like, "You will not take that, sir." He's like, did you just deepen your voice to match?
Like, this
him?
is my regular voice.
No. Oh, I thought it was great.
This is my regular voice.
Yeah.
I just want to jump to it, but later in the movie where Thor and that comes back and Groot's there, and they're just like, who's that? And he's like, I am Groot, and then Cap's there and he's like, I am Steve Rogers.
Yeah, that was good, yeah.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Thor
Yeah.
can talk Groot as well. That was
Yeah,
another thing as well.
he can understand what Groot says. They
Oh,
say
I
that.
didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, he says it was a language requirement, like when he was taught at Asgard. It was a requirement.
Oh, really?
He had to learn it in school. Or something.
How did I not pick up on that? That's
Excellent.
great.
You were too
That is
busy
awesome.
laughing, yeah.
That's awesome.
They split the heroes up pretty much at the start. So like Iron Man and Doc Strange and Spidey get shot off into space.
Yeah.
Pat, we haven't talked about it. What did you think about the Iron Spider suit?
Yeah.
Oh, you
Well-
should have listened to this fucking guy.
Oh, I loved it. As soon as I saw the extra spider legs pop out the back and he stopped himself from getting sucked through the holes into
I had
space.
to like fucking move his bone around.
You
the
probably
way so
heard
could
me. I was
see-
like, oh!
Yeah,
You had
so
to
I
push
could
his
see
tip out of your eye.
I couldn't see the screen.
Just whack it out of the way. I was just like, I was in awe. I was like, yeah, that's, we've been waiting for that. And I do kind of kick myself for knowing that those legs were coming. I already knew that was going to happen.
Oh, anyone who's read a comic knew about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I expected it when I heard about like in Homecoming, and you could see the Iron Spider suit, but when I saw some toy packaging and it had actual like the legs popping out the back, I was like,
Yeah.
damn, it's ruined for me, and so I expected it to come. But it was still a real surprise. It was quite good.
On the flip side of that, what did you think of Iron Man's bleeding edge armor? Because there's some controversy here.
Yeah.
Not like controversy, but you
Yeah.
guys have differing opinions on the armor.
Well, I really liked it.
The nanotech.
Yeah, and I liked the he looked quite built in it still. It didn't look. I thought it was going to be skin tight, and it would almost be.
It was
all-
very form fitting still.
It was still quite slim, but still a bit built enough to be like, he's not really that big, and you could tell in the suit. But I quite liked it, and it was like convenient, and
That's what I hate about it. It's too convenient.
and I think that did help him in. I think the reason they did it was mainly for the few scenes that were set up later, like the way that like that scene where he's fighting Thanos, and it was just.
Thanos.
That fucking scene.
I think the reason they did it
That got
was to
me.
get Spider-Man into space with Iron Man.
Because you needed like enough tech to like
Well,
we're going to shoot him into space, so we need something that's like believable enough.
Yeah.
That, like when he's in
And
space, he can handle it.
Did you see how they also incorporated into Spidey's Iron Spider suit? So his mask just suddenly forms over his face.
Yeah, it all like clinks away. It's like
It's just like straight off the bat, bang! It's on his head. So yeah, they probably did it for that reason too. Just
wasn't into that either.
Yeah.
I just don't like the nanotech thing. It's just like it's too convenient. It kind of like it's almost like a catch-all. It can just morph into anything. It can do whatever. Like, where do you go from
Do you know what I imagine, like, originally? The way it works, you think of the way nanotech works, right? It forms over your body, and it can form anyway. There's gaps and shit and all around, you know. But I imagine, like, with Iron Man especially, or Peter Parker, when it goes over their head, I can just imagine, like, hair strands popping out still. It's, like, formed solid. And then there's, like, hair strands popping out the top of their heads. Like, because of the way it forms. Like, how does your hair perfectly tuck in? And then...
Yeah, the nano thing's like, oh, wait, we've got to fold
It's like,
that
we're going to
hair
go
down.
over the hair. Hang on. Like...
So for us guys, like, with the beard, you just have, like, a bearded Spider-Man.
Half a beard hanging out.
Just hanging out.
I think that would have been funny to see something like that.
The bearded Spider-Man.
It's like not quite perfected yet. Just have a strand of hair popping out like a big tuft.
Now, we actually forgot to mention it, but at the top of the film and that as well, with Thor and Loki and everything, I think Thanos talks about he already has one stone or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Loki does a massive first Avengers callback, and he's like, we have a Hulk. And then Hulk comes out of nowhere and starts to fight Thanos. And he gets his ass fucking whooped by Thanos. Like, the Hulk, like the strongest Avenger. Gets his ass kicked. And
I did like it at first.
He's getting shut down real fast.
Yeah. Like Hulk has the upper hand at first, and because you got him off guard, and it looks like Hulk's got a good chance, but then like you said, he just whoops his ass. So
I just took it as
I think 2 movies in a row now have decided that Hulk is not the strongest Avenger. Like, I don't know, what are your guys' thoughts, but my thoughts walking out of this movie,
Thor
is fucking...
Well, Thor beat Hulk, and it was only cheated that proved he like the one.
Yeah, because the
made it out
Grandmaster
there,
used
didn't.
that.
But Thor is,
And
the,
then
the
when
strongest.
Thor came back in this movie at the end with his new fucking axe of wonder,
Yeah.
Stormbreaker.
Stormbreaker.
I mean, he basically stopped
I was
Thanos,
just
but he
like-
just didn't get him in the head.
yeah, I'm like, he won. He's the strongest one.
Should have got. He said you should have went for the head.
Now, I want to bring it up because obviously, talking about this movie, talking about deaths. Everyone's talking about deaths. And I'm just like, please don't kill Cap. Tony's going to die or whatever and all this sort of stuff. It turns out by the end of the movie, not giving away the end of the movie yet, but all the Phase 1 Avengers, so like Iron Man, Cap, and Hulk and that, they're all still alive. But there's a scene where Tony's fighting, Iron Man's fighting Thanos, and he's down to his last bits of nanotech because he can like phase the nanotech sort of anywhere in his body, like he's running low on bits. So he like pushes it all out towards his hand so he can like keep repulsoring, but all his like body's exposed and shit. And then Thanos has this great scene where he fucking stabs like Tony through the abdomen, and you're like, well, that's it. This is it.
Oh,
Tony's going down. And that was,
I was
the
on
bit,
the edge of my seat.
because I'm going to come back to this later, because I've talked about previous about how there's no stakes. There's never any stakes in these Marvel movies. Like, you know, they'll do something, but I'm like, by the end of the next movie, like I've talked about before, in Civil War, Rhodey like gets disabled, and I'm like, by the end of the next movie, he'll be walking normally or whatever, and it'll be fine. So there's no real stakes. There's only stakes for this 10 minutes that we're watching.
Yep.
So Tony gets stabbed, and I'm thought, this is it. It's all over. It's all over right here.
Yep.
Tony doesn't die, but Thanos has that great interaction with Tony because like he knows who he is. He's like Stark, and he's like, you know me? He's like, yeah, of course I know you. Like I hear shit as well. And then he tells him, like, after he stabs him, he's like, you have my respect and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, I like that.
I hope they remember you scene and all
He's
that.
respectful,
I'm like,
wasn't he?
Fuck. And then, but Tony doesn't die, and Thanos gets away.
Did you think that was probably where he probably should have? Like, it would have been a good send-off for him?
I thought it would have been big, but obviously they're going to play that into the next movie. It goes back to, like...
It seemed like everybody kind of was foreseeing that scene. So then maybe they flipped the tables on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still was surprised that he was still alive.
Yeah.
That did surprise me.
Yeah.
I was like, that's probably the first time that's happened.
Yeah. But I am slightly disappointed that they didn't just kill him in that scene. But at the same time, I'm like,
I also didn't want him to die.
I'm not disappointed because they did flip the expectation that he would.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm conflicted.
You're in two minds about it. Yeah.
I didn't really want him to die though. Like I just expected.
No, but I thought like if he died right there, that movie would have had so much more impact for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Thanos gets most of the stones. All the rest of the Avengers and stuff, Black Panther and that, they're making their final stand at Wakanda because they've got the vision and they've got the Mind Stone. They say it in the trailer, like, let him come to us, we'll do our final stand thing. They're getting their asses kicked. Thor and Rocket and Groot turn up and kind of turn the tide and help out and stuff. Thanos comes and he gets all of the Infinity Stones and he mounts them all in the gauntlet. And Thor puts bloody Stormbreaker into his chest, like the axe side, and he's burying it in. And Thanos is like, you should have gone for I think he said the head. I thought he said the hand.
The head.
You should have went for the head. And then he snaps his fingers. And then...
That was such a shock for me. I was like, I get... because it was, it's been black.
He was like, I'm not dead yet, motherfucker. I've still got the power.
Yeah.
And Thanos has talked about earlier, like, when I cleanse the universe or whatever, and I fix the universe, I make it all right, and how I see it, it's meant to be right. What am I going to do after this? I'm just going to, like, sit down on a grassy hill and watch the sunrise and all that sort of shit. And Thanos fucking gets his happy ending. Like, he sits there on that grassy hill, and he's watching the sunrise and
not
shit.
What you expect. Oh, and then the credits roll, and I was like, get stuffed. I was like,
Thanos snaps his fingers and wipes out half the universe.
Yeah.
With a snap of his fingers.
Dusty.
Dusty.
And then people start to die.
They all fade away.
Bucky turns to ash. All these characters just turn to Bucky. Black Panther. Spidey, that was fucking heartbreaking, that scene.
Yeah.
Because he's just a kid. Like, he's a 15-year-old kid. He's like, Mr. Stark, he's like, I don't feel well. He's like, you're all right, kid. You're all right. He's like, no. And he's like, I don't want to die. He's like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And then Tony's holding him, and then he just turns to ash in his arms, and you're like, holy fuck. And then, Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch.
The big ones.
Vision. Like, heaps of them go.
Strange
and they all turn to ash.
Strange knows what's up, though.
Yeah,
it's interesting how, it's like 50-50 chance that you're going to fade away. And, like, half live, half don't.
Yeah, because he talked about that earlier in the film, Thanos. He's like, we're not going to pick. He's just like, just at random. He's just like, half the universe will die. It'll just be random. And that'll be fair. Like, in his mind, that's fair.
No one knows what Hulk's doing.
Like, Hulk's still around.
Yeah, I saw him sitting in the Hulk armor, the Hulkbuster armor.
Yeah.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, he was chilling out in the back while everyone was soppy faces.
in the stone thing that he got put into, like, yeah.
I'm surprised we didn't see him Hulk out toward the end, but then I thought about it, I thought they did that because there's just too much going on. They don't want to have that extra.
Well, that's another movie for a movie plot.
He's fighting against.
You could have
character.
the rematch in the next movie. You could have.
I did really like his fighting off. Like Hulk inside of him is disagreeing. He's like, no, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, like Bruce keeps trying to turn into the Hulk, but he can't. Like the Hulk's fighting against it.
It's been literally the opposite of every other Hulk storyline ever. Like basically, the Hulk has always been inside of Bruce, and Bruce has always been like, no, don't come out. You're gonna fucking destroy everything. So in this movie, they're like, when they need the Hulk, the Hulk's like, fuck no, I don't want to get the shit kicked out of me again.
And you got your fix at the start too. And that's it. I didn't think of that, but maybe he's got some shame that he got beat.
Like, he's like, I don't want to get beat up again, Because I'm Hulk's strongest one there is. He's like, I'm not the strongest, I got beaten.
I didn't even think of that.
Because the first fight that he gets in afterwards, and he's like, come on, and he goes, no!
Yeah.
And it's because he doesn't want to get his fucking ass kicked again.
Yeah.
Like, he's shamed.
Yeah.
So now this leads into the next movie. The Russos and that said, this isn't going to be a two-parter, which technically it isn't if they're going to do in the next film what I think they're going to do. It's technically not a two-parter. This is a standalone thing, but the story will continue into the next one. Like, the events in this one will feed into the next one, but it will be technically its own standalone story. So they were right there. But, it's pretty intense. But I feel shortchanged.
Oh, really?
With the ending. Because I'm like, I know... Because when Black Panther turned to dust, I elbowed you and I turned to you and I was like, well, there goes $1 billion.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. You know that, like, especially when Spidey fades away.
And
like,
Spider-Man
okay.
Homecoming 2, like, the sequel's already been announced. What's this movie going to be about? Oh, it's going to be about the aftermath of Infinity War.
And
it's
you
gonna
know
be dealing,
that
like,
they're going to
okay.
come back. They're all going to fade back. And it's
That's
like,
exactly about the stakes we're talking about. Marvel lacking stakes because in the end, you already know that these guys have got fucking follow-up movies. Half of them. Half the ones that died have got follow-up movies. Like
the single one big thing that would annoy me about that would be that they've already killed off Peter Parker now, and you know he's had a death there. That's a death. That's it. But he will come back. We know he's going to come back because he's going to make more movies. But they've already taken that away now. Like it's like, how can you have a risk again like that? You know.
What? Yeah.
Well, I suppose it'll probably
going to die again. Like,
you know, like you don't want to do it twice. So it's just a big thing to take away, and to now they're gonna, you know, what do you?
That was kind
stakes
of what
of that
I
are
thought
taken
about
away.
Loki at the start as well. Was like they killed off the first character they killed off is a character that's already died once. So like,
well,
they are raising the stakes, but at the same time, you're like, well, you just...
I've already seen him die once.
Yeah.
So, like, that emotional impact's kind of gone. Like, you're only getting, like, half that original impact, that emotional, like,
that's why
input
I thought,
from me.
Like, Thor or Hulk would be a bigger deal because, like, you know, if Thanos could kill a god, like, then you've set up your fucking movie to be... Like, it would be a lost opportunity with all that comedy throughout the movie. Sure, I kind of wouldn't want to change any of that middle bit. But at the same time... Fuck, it would make things feel really fucking hardcore if Thor died at the start. Your strongest Avenger out of everyone died at the start. Or not Thor, Hulk, second strongest, arguably strongest. One of those two bit the dust. That would have been huge.
Bit the dust.
Bit the dust. See what I did there?
Well, my guess is they're going to obviously get the time stone. And reverse time somehow to bring them back. That's the only way that they're ever going to...
There was a sequel to Infinity War done in the comics. So what they did was they jumped forward in time by like 5 years. And now all the remaining Avengers and shit, whoever's left over, they all work for S.H.I.E.L.D. now. And Hank Pym has been working like with the Pym particle and stuff and time tunnels and shit. And he's being able to create a way where they can travel back in time to try and fix stuff, like without the time stone and that, because we see at the end of the movie, like Thanos is still wearing the Infinity Gauntlet, but it's all fucked up. So doubt whether we'll maybe get to use that again, but you know, that's a possibility for like the next film. I do foresee probably a big time jump. So like, if it just picked up at the end of this, like I wouldn't really feel like it was as impactful, because they're like, right, everyone just turned to dust an hour ago, how are we going to fix this? Like, if they leave it for like 5 or 10 years, like 5 or 6 years, like it's been 5 years, everyone's dead, we've been trying to fix this, like how do we do it? Like, ooh, fuck, like these guys have been working on it like day and night, you know, for the last 5 or 6 years to do it. But, you know, maybe that's the way they're going to go, and maybe in that film, because all the Phase 1 Avengers are still standing, so Cap, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Hawkeye, somewhere, and Black Widow. So, like, bring it back to the original, the A-Team, to come in and fix everything.
No more Nick Fury.
And then we can do the deaths. We can start to kill them off. And then that'll really be the end of the first phase of the Avengers.
I really liked how when Nick Fury faded away, he put his Samuel L. Jackson in the end of it. He's like, motherfucker. Then he fades off. That was awesome.
Yeah, the end credit scene. Nick Fury and, what's her name, Maria Hill. They both turned to dust, but he sent off a quick communique to Captain Marvel first.
Yeah, that's right.
So she can turn up in the next movie. Now, I felt shortchanged, Pat, but how did you feel? Because that's the perfect movie for you. How did you feel at the end, like when everyone started to die?
Literally, I could safely say from the start, from the first like get-go of this movie, I was on the edge of my seat. Like, you know, you feel that kind of tension in you, the heart's kind of pounding, you just kind of... I'm invested. I'm so into this, and then just not knowing what the hell is going to happen around. I expect things, but I don't know what the hell's going to happen. And I had that from probably start to finish, and then I was just
real tense. I was sitting next to him, in the camera, and he was just like real fucking.
A lot of good laughs, though, like all that stuff. But then just most of the time, and I love the action and everything that was going on, and just, I was left in awe. I could say that. I was just like, and also that kind of just, like the way they left it with Thanos winning, and it's like the anus, and I was like, and I was like, no, let's, and yeah, I just couldn't believe it, and I was probably stunned for the next 24 hours. I'd say, I like, you know, you're still kind of feeling, I'm thinking about it, and it's like you know, it's just left in my mind a bit. That kind of thing. So
you did that great Thanos sketch.
It affected me.
Which is on our Instagram if you want to check it out.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. I just felt like I had to do something. It was on my mind. And, yeah, I really wanted to.
You had to get it out of you. It's
Get
like
it out.
coming.
It's like coming. Yeah. It's going to pump
the 50th episode throwback to everything. It's like coming.
Coming the anus.
Pump it out.
Now, we forgot to mention it, but we saw the Red Skull again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was really cool. When I saw it
that.
coming, I heard the voice, and then I reached over the bearded mountain Bobby Baxter to tap Patrick, and I was like, "It's the Red Skull! It's the Red Skull!"
I didn't get what you were saying there, and then I saw the face. I was like, "Oh!"
He still looked like Hugo, right?
Yeah.
Like I was still.
I thought he sounded like him too. Yeah.
But I went on IMDb, and Marvel have done a fucking bait and switch, and they've left off all of their characters that are like.
I know who played him though.
Because
I waited for the credits. I'm like, I'm going to see in the end credits who played the Red Skull. Just before that, I thought the Red Skull makeup was fucking fantastic. I thought it was very comic. It was very, go back to those comic roots. It was very like brutal Skullish, not like that smooth Scully in the first Avenger or whatever. But as much as that was great, it was actually played by Ross Marquand. He's in The Walking Dead. He's the guy you see in all the videos do all the impressions of like Kevin Spacey and everyone and that. He was probably just doing his best Hugo Weaving.
Yeah.
And that in it. Yeah, he was great. He was fucking fantastic. But where he was on the planet where the Soul Stone was.
Yeah.
So he says like, I've been here for a lifetime. I pursued the stones and whatever, but you know, the original stone, the Space Stone sent me here, like, but he's like, I'm not powerful enough or whatever. I can't capture the other stone.
He loves nothing.
Yeah, Thanos is there with Gamora. And he finds out that, like, to get the Soul Stone, he has to trade a soul for a soul. Like, you have to give up something that you love. And because she's like a daughter to him, and you're like, you don't think it, but then he turns around and Thanos is actually, like, crying and shit. And he throws her in, and she dies, and that's how he gets the Soul Stone.
Does that mean Red Skull is actually more evil than Thanos? It's the anus.
The anus. Well, it didn't seem very evil. Didn't seem very evil at all.
No.
I looked
but,
at...
like, Red Skull's got nothing to trade, so he couldn't get the stone.
I really liked how...
And he was a Nazi, too.
Yeah. And I looked it up as well. It was really cool how they Marvel did that with him. Such an early movie, too, with the first Captain America, how... I remember even watching it myself way back. All I remember is, he's dead or something. Like, I'm like, oh, they killed off a character. Why do that to such a cool villain? But, and then I looked back on it and I looked it up on YouTube, and apparently it's he just gets sucked into a portal.
Yeah, he gets sent off into a portal and you don't know where he goes.
Yeah, the Tesseract opens up some kind of portal, and it actually looks like space. Like, it looks like something, and he gets sucked into it and he's gone. And then, and obviously that just leaves him open to be on this planet, and it's just, I really like that. The way that's still quite a good send-off for him, and he's in this planet. So,
but it also plays into the whole fucking no stakes of a Marvel movie. Even the villains are safe.
But we knew that, like, we knew from the first Avenger, like, he's not actually dead. He's just been teleported somewhere.
Yeah. And I love
Where's
that.
he gone? It's taken like 8 years for 7 years for us to find out where he's actually gone.
Yeah.
But riddle me this. Here's a question for you. At the end of the movie, after Thanos clicks his fingers, he ends up in like this open kind of plain area. It's very yellowish too, like the Soul Stone, you would say. But he sees like the child Gamora there, and she turns around, and I can't remember what she says. She's like, "Was it worth it, or what did you have to give up to accomplish this goal?" And he's just like, everything. Do you really feel like that aspect is gonna play into the next film? Like, is he trapped in the Soul Stone and he's going to have like visions of her, or is he just going to have visions of her and he's going to feel real guilty because he killed like his adopted daughter, and he's like, I've done the wrong thing. Like, I've given up too much to save the universe, inverted commas.
I hadn't really thought about that sort of thing.
Like, maybe I did the wrong thing after all, maybe.
Yeah.
maybe it wasn't all worth it.
bit
You
of
know?
guilt.
Pretty fucking contented when he was sitting in that last scene.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like looking.
But
at his
sitting
hand,
alone
like,
there in
"Hey."
isolation, you know, on your own, gives you a lot of time to think.
Mm.
And technically, all the stones are still okay. It's just like the gauntlet, I think, that look fucked up.
Mm.
I don't know. There was too much happening. I was just like, oh fuck! I'm
I
in
like
the
how,
moment.
like, technically, when you think about it, it's all Peter Quill's fault because he.
Oh, that scene. That
that
was fucked
scene,
up.
they had the glove. They had it nearly off.
They
and
nearly
then-
got the gauntlet off
And then,
Man.
and then Peter Quill freaks out and punches
because he killed
him.
Gamora.
It's
And
all
Mantis
their fault.
is-
It's like,
loses
why the fuck didn't they
concentration.
just cut his hand off?
Yeah.
Like Iron Man
They had
standing
him.
there, fucking start cutting that shit
He's
off.
always
Why
got
they
like the wrist laser from like Iron Man 2 where he just cuts through shit. When he just go,
Yeah.
bing.
cut the
Yeah.
fucking arm off. Like Mantis has got his head. He can't fucking do anything about the pain if she's just like, no,
Sleep.
like sleep.
No pain for you.
Yeah.
I go.
I'm standing there. I'm like, why are they all pulling it off like it's fucking like Benny Hill fucking cartoon? Yeah, I'm like, cut that shit off. Somebody get a fucking axe and cut that shit off.
Where's Kratos when you need him?
I feel like I've got to talk about that scene though with Iron Man versus Thanos, whatever you say,
Anus.
the anus, and just how impactful that was, and I liked how brutal. Like every time Thanos or whatever you call him has a
The anus.
smash at Iron Man, and his nano armor kind of forms back on him to. Sorry, mate, you're right. And yeah, just how he's like every hit you see like a vulnerable part of he's only human underneath. It's
Like the nanotech's like broken away.
yeah, I was like, holy shit, his whole face is
Exposed.
he could just cave in his head right now with one hit. And it just really, that's the first time in any movie that I've really felt that tension of like, holy crap, he's going to get him. And then, yeah, like, just that really got me that bit. That whole scene was just, I was on the edge of myself. Oh, crap.
Because it kind of felt like, in those scenes, it kind of felt like talking about stakes, but like in those scenes, like where they're trying to get the glove and that off the gauntlet, you're like, you really felt like the stakes were there, and you're like, are they going to win? Like Iron Man's fighting, they're giving it all they've got to like try and stop him.
Everything.
To like, you know, they do come up with a plan and that to try and stop him, and Doctor Strange is doing all this awesome wizardy shit. He's like multiple versions of himself, and he's got like all these whips and shit, and it's fucking sick because I love Doctor Strange. But yeah, like in those moments, like the stakes were there, but yeah, just in the end of the movie, I didn't really feel it.
That's another thing I was going to talk to you about. I haven't talked to you yet. I feel like this is Doctor Strange's plan all along. This is what it is. He knows he's going to die and fade off. He's seen every possibility.
Yeah,
So I feel like this is what's going on to happen for the second movie. This is actually
it was the only way they could
This
win.
is the good hero's plan. I feel like this is, even though it's all shit right now, this is the good plan. And I feel like that's what's happening. Like Doctor Strange knew this is happening.
They have to lose the battle to win the war.
Exactly, and I feel like he knows that they're going to all come back somehow, or something like whatever.
Because Doctor
this
Strange
path takes.
uses the time stone and stuff,
Yeah.
and he's like, I've checked all these possible futures, and they're like, how many futures have you checked? He's like 14,600,000 or something like that. And then Tony's like, how many do we win? And he's like, 1.
Yeah, there's one that wins, and so I reckon that he's probably tried to obviously focus on that, and it's a bit of a hard one to go through, but I reckon it's going to pay off.
Yep.
That's how I reckon that's what's happening right now.
I think we should end these spoilers.
Yep.
Nice.
All right.
Alright.
We're running a really professional tight ship here. I just pushed past Paddy to get to the wee wees.
It hurts, doesn't it? Holding on to all
And
that
I can
beer.
just hear like a flushing toilet in my headphones. So it's just like, thanks
Sorry.
for that. All right, so end of spoilers.
Yeah, boy.
Spoilers are ended. Now, let's wrap it up. So,
Yeah.
in hearing all that stuff and the culmination of 10 years of movies, and I think I've been and seen every single one of these movies at the cinema.
Yeah, that's what
Seen
makes
about
this.
a third of them. I think.
That's what makes this movie so powerful. I reckon, in a way, the way it it's history. Like I don't think any other movie.
There's never been an event or culmination of everything
for the
like
fact
this
that there's
ever.
19 other movies that lead into this one, or 18.
18.
And they all kind of lead into this. It's just like I think it makes it so impactful. It's just, I don't know. I've never experienced it in my life, so that's why I have such
I
a
don't think it's ever been done.
good feeling about it.
No.
This
No.
level.
Fucking ballsy by Marvel
It's
Studios.
huge.
Yeah.
It's huge.
All right, Patrick Brown. Let's put a cap on this. If you had to give it a rating out of 5, Avengers: Infinity War out of 5, what would you give it?
Look at him. He's going for like 25.
In a heartbeat, straight off 5 off the bat. Like, I'd go more if I could, but yeah.
5 out of 5.
10 out of 10, 5 out of 5. It's the best experience I've had in cinema in many years. Like,
Better than A
honestly.
Quiet Place.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Now, for me,
Yeah.
I come out of the movie and I was like, I don't know, man. It was just the whole stakes thing. So when I left the cinema, I was sitting on about a 3.5 out of 5.
What?
But
You're insane.
in the couple, fuck up you. I'm allowed to have my opinion. I'm allowed to have my own opinion. I'm sitting on about a 3.75, but I really feel like I need to see it again before I can put a cap on it.
Yeah.
Because I loved it. Like, I loved everything about it, and I couldn't fault it, but I'm not going to give it a top mark.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sitting on it, you know, I'll give it a 4. No, fuck it, 3.75 out of 5. Fuck it, no. I'm sticking to me guns. What about you, Mountain? What would you give it?
All right. So
Here we go.
I've got to lay this down.
I can feel the long wind coming at me.
Here we go.
It is, yeah. This guy's gonna hate me, but I think it perfectly executed what it was supposed to do. Like, it's supposed to be the capper on the end of all these fucking films, and it does it in a way that was actually perfectly executed for that. As
The
far as
squirt at the end, you'd say?
sorry,
The squirt at the end, you'd say?
Squirt at the end?
Yeah,
I've never heard
It's
that.
like coming?
it was the perfect release.
It will be too by the amount of dollar figures I think
it
they're going to
will.
make.
It will.
I
But,
like
you know, it did exactly what it was supposed to do, and it did it well. Like, it executed
Really fucking well.
perfectly in that regard of, like, wrapping up all of these tiny little micro stories into one thing that still managed to make everyone kind of pretty much meaningful to the whole plot, which was very impressive. So for that, I have to kind of give it top marks. But at the same time, I'm with Jags. Like, I got to give it like a 3.5 because, like, without all that other stuff, it's not like a movie that I'm going to rush back to watch again. Like, it was kind of like an exciting event movie that you have to go see in the cinema. And I fucking tell everybody, like, anyone who's into Marvel, go and do it because it actually, like, this is an event movie. Like,
Definitely.
it
If
is-
you can see it in IMAX because the entire movie was filmed in IMAX, go see it at fucking IMAX.
Yeah. Like, go and watch it on the big screen with an excited audience because fucking that's where it's supposed to be seen. I'm not going to rush out and buy this on Blu-ray now because, like, I don't need to see it again. Like, it's kind of like a one and done. Maybe I'll watch it a second time just to get a couple of bits and pieces that maybe I missed the first round through. But I'm not excited about it in the way that, like, it's a great movie because it's not by any means like a great movie story kind of thing. Like, it's not like a timeless story. It's kind of like a great compilation of all this other stuff. So go and watch it now while it's in the cinema. But yeah, for me, it's not like a timeless fucking classic movie that you're going to watch for the rest of your life. It's probably going to you'll throw it away as quick as you watched it kind of thing. And wait for the next round of stuff to come.
But that's you. That's your preference.
That's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
out of 5, definitively, what would you give it out of 5?
Give it a 3.5. And the 3.5 comes from perfect fucking sense of humor. Like, it's great comedy and perfectly sets out to do exactly what it needs to do. But it is lacking in that kind of like, is it actually a good movie? Really? Like, it's a great movie doing what it's supposed to do.
Has anything really changed that can't just be undone in the next movie?
Yeah, exactly.
So what was the
Exactly.
point?
The stakes are kind
Like,
of
we got
missing.
the spectacle and shit, and that was great, but it's kind of like empty calories.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like,
Boom! Metaphor.
bang, exactly. It's like Pop-Tarts. They fucking taste...
Oh, they're so
They
good.
taste
And they're
beautiful.
purple on the inside too, some of them.
They're beautiful, they taste great, but you feel a little bit empty inside afterwards.
Yeah, you
I
do.
also gotta
Sometimes you
remember-
get stomachache. Yeah.
It's almost like a sequel to everything, as in like
A sequel to everything.
like all the
No,
Marvel.
he's on something here. Leave him. Let him
I
go.
like this,
He's
I like
right.
this.
No, I mean like obviously every character is in here. It's almost
Yeah.
everyone. It's a movie for all our heroes.
It's
to
a
mash
movie
together.
it's a movie to sell more movies.
but it's all.
That's what it is.
That's a massive crossover event. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
huge.
But it's more like a.
There's
yeah,
never
it's-
been a
it's
comic book movie like this.
No,
This is the most
it's a-
comic book movie that's ever been out of any comic
Yeah.
book movie ever.
And not only do they achieve that, it's like a the experience alone, like going through the entire thing from start to finish. You know every single character, and then you watch this 2.5 hour thing, and it's actually really well put together, and like
That's why I feel so.
you're
like,
left
torn.
with like this whole amazement. Like, oh, that's
Because
what I
we've
was.
invested 10 years into all these characters. Like,
Yeah.
we've been watching these characters for the last 10
But
years.
it's literally a sequel for every character, and that's pretty amazing when you think about it. Like it's all mashed into one, and they're all coming up against this one massive threat.
Fair call.
And
Fair
I
call.
and I thought that was pretty amazing, and I think that was a big move.
No, I don't want to come off like I'm shitting on this movie at all, because I think
No.
it's exactly it does it right in every aspect. It's just it's no Big Lebowski. Yeah.
So, 3.75 out of 5 from me.
3.5.
Solid 5. Go see it.
Very good. Avengers Infinity War, we've seen it. You'll
Yep.
hear about the next one next year in 12 months.
I need to see it.
All right, let's announce our give it away. Give it away, give it away,
Yeah,
give
boy.
it away now. Give it away, give it away. Right, we're giving it away. So, we've got some swag to give away. So, what have we got, Patrick Brown? What have we got behind door number 1?
Well, I supplied a one of my comics that I've done for Marvel.
Yeah, one of your comic covers. Issue of Spider-Man, I believe.
Yep, issue of Spider-Man there.
Who's on the cover? Patrick Brown, so we can let people know
Part
before they...
1 of the Sinister, the new Sinister 6. So
So we've got an Iron Spider on the cover,
Iron
actually.
Spider, yep.
That
And
ties into Avengers Infinity War, does it not?
Sandman and all the other villains all mashed together. Hobgoblin, all them. So yeah,
And you're going to sign it as well?
It's one of the biggest covers I did for all the covers I've done for Spider-Man. That was probably one of the biggest and most time-consuming ones that I've done. So I thought I'd put that up for the giveaway.
Well, you're going to get your money's worth there,
Signed
folks.
it and everything. Yeah.
And Bobby Baxter, you've got some swag. You're going to donate as well to give away. Give it away. Give it away.
Yeah,
now.
I got a few bits and pieces. So I got a copy of Brown Fury signed. Got a print of Venom that I did. Venom nom 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 nom. Because he's eating a
None of
lollipop.
the anus.
We are Venom nom 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 nom. And I've also got a Rocco's Modern Life. Garbage Day is a very dangerous day print. And also a page out of one of my sketchbooks from home. So
You get some original Bobby Baxter sketches there.
It's the real deal.
It's the real deal.
They're all going to be signed.
I looked at it before. I was like, I can't believe you're giving this away.
Give it
It's
away.
like-
Give it away.
I could see the effort that was in. I could feel the strokes. I could feel the line work.
Stop feeling my
I could feel
strokes.
the inks.
And from me, you're getting my time and my undying respect.
Ooh, that's worth a bit.
Now, if you want to win this swag, this is what you need to do. Now, our episodes go up on a Monday or a Tuesday or a Sunday, wherever you are in the world. Following this episode, there will be a post on Facebook. It'll be a photo of all the swag. And what we're asking you to do is, well, you've seen the Avengers. You've seen Avengers Infinity War. There's another Avengers film coming out next year. What we want you to do is to like that post on Facebook, share that post, and to comment what you think the next Avengers film will be called. So the one we just got was Avengers Infinity War. So after this, we're getting Avengers what? What's it going to be subtitled? So whatever you think it's going to be subtitled, it's going to be called Avengers what? Bobby? What do you think it's going to be called?
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Avengers, just another cash grab. So whatever you think it's going to be, you can be creative as you want, you can be as stupid as you want, whatever you think. We'll go through them all, we'll pick the best winner, and then we'll announce it on Facebook in a couple of weeks. So we'll announce it around about the 14th of May, depending on where you are in the world. It'll be the 14th of May for us, but yeah. So, when you see the post on Facebook for the giveaway, like it, share it, and comment below what you think the next Avengers film will be called, and we'll announce the winner in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And you get all the free swag. All right, Patrick Brown, if people want to find you online, where can they find you?
You can find me on my official website, patrickbrownart.com, Facebook, Patrick Brown Art, and you can also go on Instagram. I'm using that a fair bit these days, and find me under Patrick Brown Art.
If you want to check out his Switch Thanos sketch, which I just bought.
The anus sketch.
He wouldn't give it to me. I had to buy it off him. I said, what do I have to do to get that?
Really?
He's like, I can print you one out. And I was like, I want the original. And then I offered him $1 amount, and he's like, really? I'll take it.
Well, I thought, why not? I'm like, oh, I can't pass that up.
Bobby Baxter, if people want to find you online, where can they find you?
You can buy all of my work from bobbybaxter.com. No, bobbybaxter.com is my website with all my folio stuff, but my social media stuff is Bobby Baxter Cartoons on Facebook and Instagram, and I think Bobby Baxter on Twitter if you're so inclined.
Awesome. And if you want to find the Bearded Geeks online, you can go to Facebook, facebook.com/Bearded Geeks Pod. If you want to listen to the show, you can check us out on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. Just search for the Bearded Geeks, and you'll find our podcasts. Keep an eye out for our logo. You know what it looks like. If you want to find us on Twitter, we're also on Twitter. We're on Instagram, and we're on TeePublic if you want to buy a motherfucking t-shirt, bruh. All right, that's it from us for our 50th episode milestone. We're going to have next week off because we've got to do the freelance festival. So we're taking a week off, but we'll be back the following week with another episode of the Bearded Geeks. Thank you all very much. Thanks for listening for the last 12 months. We do appreciate it.
We love you.
We love it.
I love you.
Yeah, boy.
He loves it, whatever that is.
All right, we'll see you all in 2 weeks on the Bearded Geeks.
Hey! 50!